What's up, guys? Welcome to the Everyday Carry 2025 Holiday Gift Guide video. I am Ryan and I will be walking you through my picks, my top picks. These are things that I have that I carry every day, and then also recommendations for you to outfit your EDC, and also, if you're buying a gift for somebody else, something to consider that might be beneficial to them. So we're gonna have some good, better, best on a lot of this, and we'll walk you through different areas from medical to flashlights, knives, packs, and so on. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start off with knives, and we're gonna go at first with the Kershaw. This is the good. This is very inexpensive. This is the Kershaw Appa knife. This guy is available in a straight edge and also a serrated blade as well. And it runs only about $15. It has a nice nylon grip to it. Has some jimping here on the back for extra grip when you grab onto it, liner lock, and it also has assisted opening and the flipper design here on the back. Also has a lanyard loop should you need that, but at $15, that's a no-brainer. Moving up from there, you have the rescue knife. This is the Barricade from Kershaw as well. You still have the flipper, you have the assisted opening, but what's cool about this guy as well is that you also have a seatbelt cutter and you have a glass breaker. So good gift for a first responder, or a good knife to keep in your car as well. Moving on from there, we're on to the tactical knife. This is the Kershaw Dawn Star. So this has a Hawkeye blade to it, or sorry, Hawkbill blade, not Hawkeye, Hawkbill blade to it. It's still an assisted open knife, has the flipper on the back, glass-filled nylon handle, jimping as well. Great tactical knife, 3.5-inch blade. Comes in only around $40. Stepping up from that, we have the Kershaw Iridium. So this is a little bit more premium. I think this runs around $60, but very, very clean design for this knife, and it's a thumb flip right there. Very smooth KVT bearings as well in the lock here. Lanyard loop at the bottom. All of these, the pocket clip can be flipped left or right side, and then folds nice and easy. And then last on the list, depending on where you live, is the Kershaw, what one is this one? This one is the Auto. The Launch 22 actually is this one. So the Kershaw Launch 22 is an automatic deploying knife, made in the USA, very, very high quality knife here. Don't know really what else to say about it other than just very solid build quality, Magnite blade, very high quality, and obviously runs at a bit of a premium, but a fantastic knife if you can have it. If you're looking for something fixed blade, so you have the hunter in your family who's out wanting to, skin game, things like that, you have the Deschutes Caper, which is a small fixed blade knife, really compact, but still very versatile, very tough, and obviously easy to carry around being so light. And then you have something a little larger. This is the Kershaw Pack Mule, and the Pack Mule is made in the USA as well, but I'll be carrying this on a hunt this weekend. G10 handle, excellent grip on this, my favorite grip of all the Kershaw knives here. So I think if your hands are wet or bloody, if you're skinning game, that is the way to go. And I'm gonna hopefully find that out this weekend as I get out into the woods. Moving on from knives, we're gonna talk really quick about the wallet choice that I make. And I've had this wallet now for over a year. Absolutely love it, and it continues to wear in a way that just makes it feel perfect for everyday carry. So this is the Trayvax Ascent, and it's a minimalistic wallet, but it's got 9 cards in here. And what's really nice about it too, there's a little slit on the back here where you can stick a couple bills into if you need to. There is a little tab here to help you get your cards out if you need it. But what I also like is that there's a spot here on the front for your thumb to be able to push cards out. So I have my ID and things like that in the front here. And at first it's gonna be really tough, but trust me, stick with it. And then as you can see, it really starts to be easy to get your cards and your ID and things like that out of here. There is also a lanyard clip on the back. So if you have something like the Vertex Delta LT shorts and you're going into somewhere where you think you might encounter pickpocketers, you can actually clip your wallet into your shorts, which is really cool. Moving on from there, multi-tools. So the Gerber Suspension NXT is a great option. It runs less than, I think it's about $40 typically, but lots of useful tools in there. Very, very important to have multi-tools, especially if you're out in the field or in your car It's just a great thing to have, and it's, you can never go wrong with it. And if you're looking for something really minimalistic as a multi-tool, the Victorinox Swiss Card Lite is a great option. So this guy has a ton of features packed in it. You have a set of shears, you have a knife as well. The knife is actually very useful for opening boxes, things like that. You have an ink pen, you have a needle, so if you need to dig out a splinter, you can do that. If you also have a splinter, something like that, there's a set of tweezers in here. There is a small light, which the light is very, very minimal, not very useful, to be honest. And then you do have a set of straight and Phillips head screwdrivers in there, and that is very useful. Moving on to medical, the good, better, best here, and I'm gonna go starting with what I think is the good, and that is the Rhino Rescue tourniquets. So the reason I say these are good and not better or best is the windlass here, which is the plastic bar here that you use to actually apply torque on the tourniquet and to create occlusion. That can bend. I've never had this actually fail, but it does bend. So that is something to note. But these are relatively inexpensive, and you can get a lot of them, and it's good to have those everywhere. There's never a reason not to have one with you. Going on to the better is the snake staff tourniquet. This is the ETQ. I've carried this guy now for a couple months. What I do love about it is, first off, look at the footprint. It is significantly smaller, so it's no issue to throw this in my pocket and just carry it with me throughout the day, or in fanny packs, which we'll get to here in a minute. Very, very good build quality on this guy. It's available also in a 1 and a 1.5 inch version. This is the 1.5 inch version, but good to know. And then also the windlass on this is extremely stiff, so there's almost zero flex in it. So that's really good as well. And then on to the best, of course, is carrying an actual medical kit with you. So if you do something like this, which is the MyMedic Everyday First Aid Kit, you're going to have a tourniquet, you're gonna have, I believe it has chest seals as well, quick clot, compression bandage, nitrile gloves, because it could be you taking care of someone else and you don't want their blood on you. But it's just a great basic entry kit for first aid and something to keep with you. So I actually take the contents out of that and carry it in my fanny pack every single day. And then we'll move on to fanny packs, and then we'll work our way this way. So fanny packs for EDC, I love them, especially going into fall and winter, where I feel like I've got bigger clothes on, baggier clothes, and I've got a little more room to carry things. But also, it's really nice in the summer if you're wearing something that doesn't have a belt. So, if you're going to the beach or something like that, you don't want to necessarily carry a holster. It's nice to be able to carry something in a fanny pack like this. So I've got 3 options here. Once again, a good, better, best. So the Vertex Everyday Fanny Pack, I would say, is good. I've carried this for a while. My issues with it are pretty minimal, but I don't like that the fabric is so thin that sometimes your firearm can print. You can see it very easy, and it tends to flop around a little bit. The better is going to be the Eberly Stock Bando Bag. This is the standard. There's a standard and an XL. My wife carries the standard. This one actually is the one that she carries. So for her, it doesn't really look tactical. It's in blue. It's big enough to carry everything that she wants, which is like phone, keys, stuff like that. And then the XL, let me go back. The standard is going to be big enough for micro-sized firearms like the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, the Smith & Wesson Shield, things like that. If you're running an optic or a light, or you have a larger firearm like the Glock 19, I would highly recommend that you go with the Bando Bag XL or the Fade Flex here. So, Bando Standard, better, good for smaller firearms or just having more gear on you that is not necessarily firearm related. And then the Fade Flex, in my opinion, this is the cream of the crop for EDC fanny packs out there. It has a lot more volume than either of these. It's also a lot more feature packed. It has Velcro on both sides, for example. The way that it opens up, it's very, very smooth with the zippers. I've had no issues out of it at all. Also, the retention strap inside of here, when you make adjustments to the length of the strap, it's actually all retained in, so there's no strap hanging off the back here, and that's really nice. So the Fade Flex, this is also big enough for things like a full-size Glock 17 with an optic, with a light, no issues at all. So it's a really, really versatile pack. Moving on to lights. I've got essentially just an inexpensive light and a little more expensive light. Lights can get very, very expensive, and they can also be very cheap, and cheap doesn't necessarily mean bad, and expensive doesn't necessarily mean good. So a couple that I have here for you. This is the Through Night Archer Pro V2, and I have it, actually I've been carrying this year for hunting, so I have it right now set minimal, so this is when I'm hiking in the morning and it's dark. I actually take this light and then I end up actually cupping over it, so I can just barely see in front of me as I'm going in. But it can get very bright if you need it, and it recharges with USB-C, which is also very nice. What I do carry in my EDC kit every day is the Streamlight Macro Stream USB. The only gripe I have about the Macro Stream is that it's USB micro, and in 2025 there's no reason anything is USB micro. But one caveat for me with any EDC light is it must have a hat clip. You know, I don't carry lights on my guns. I talk about this a lot on other channels, but I don't carry lights on my guns because it's very often I need to point a light at something I don't want to point a gun at. Like if I'm out, you know, and my truck breaks down, something like that, I don't want to use my weapon light to see in my engine bay. So I like to have a light that is handheld, and then also that it has a hat clip, because I wear a hat a lot. So I can just flip this guy around, attach the light on my hat bill, and now I can see to work, you know, hands-free. So this guy runs, it was really inexpensive. It was only around $20. Now this has jumped to almost $50. I don't know why, it could just be a pricing error, but no way would I pay $50 for this light. But the Streamlight Macro Stream comes in around $50. That I still think is a good value. You know, it's a really good light. Streamlight's a great brand. And like I said, I wish they would update it to USB-C, but it is what it is. Holsters here. So good, better, and best. It's not really a good, better, best in this scenario. It's a good and best, depending on what you're trying to do. So a good is something like a Bravo concealment. So this is actually an injection molded holster, and it does have passive retention, so your firearm clips into place and then you can adjust the tension there. All of these are passive retention, but what I like about the Bravo concealment is it's an outside the waistband holster that holds the firearm so tight to my body that it feels like an inside the waistband holster. So it's great if I'm going hunting and I want to have it, you know, outside. So my hunting pants, for example, you know, I don't want to run an IWB holster with it. So it is good. And I also EDC this all the time. This one is for my Smith & Wesson Shield. I've carried that gun for well over a decade and no issues whatsoever. So highly recommend it. It's really nice to have, and it adds another option if you're looking at holsters and different options of carry. Next up would be and both of these I'm going to say are the best category, but depending on two different scenarios. So they're both IWB holsters, but this is the Safariland Incog X. And if you're looking for a holster that you can appendix carry, I would go with this guy. So it's developed with Travis Haley and Haley Strategic. It's a great holster. It obviously fits very snug up to your body as an appendix carry holster should, but I like that on the back, the material is very soft. And then also there's lots of flexibility with this. You can add different shims, you can adjust lots of different things with the clips. Also here, the mag has adjustable retention, as does the holster itself, which is on the back here. But a fantastic holster for appendix carry. They run, I think they run around $120, depending on what options you get, finish, mag carrier, all that stuff. And then my personal favorite IWB holster is the Hidden Hybrid holster. So it's USA made. You have a Kydex outside, you have an Amish leather backing, so this thing is really nice riding up against your body. You don't have any hard spots or anything like that. Both of these are open front, so if you have a threaded barrel, you're fine. They're both optics cut compatible, so they're fine if you run an optic. They do have light bearing options. I do not have a light, like I said, I carry handheld, so for me it's irrelevant, but they do have light bearing options as well. Next up, optics. So in 2025, pretty much every gun that's coming out is going to have an optics cut to it, and a lot of those for your concealed carries are going to be RMSC. I have two great options here that are quite different, but they do very similar things, obviously helping you quickly pick up a sight picture and put rounds on target. But I have the Viridian RFX 42. Cool things about both of these is that both of these are shake awake. They are both, you know, auto on and off. They also are both Shield RMSC footprints, and they both are enclosed emitters. So if you don't know what an enclosed emitter sight is, if it's an open emitter, you're gonna have one pane of glass. You're gonna have a light source back here that is essentially projecting up on that. And if that light source gets dirty, your dot is gone, and there's nothing for you to see on your sight until you bring it up and blow it out or clean it off, do something like that. A closed emitter works just like essentially a red dot or a rifle scope like that, where you have multiple panes of glass. So if you do get dirt on the back, yes, it can completely occlude your view and you can't see, and you still have to wipe it off, but the dot itself inside is fully protected, it's fog proof, all those kind of things. The cool thing about the Viridian RFX 42 is that it's a green dot, so if you have an astigmatism like I do, red dots for me very often either appear like almost like a bean shape or like a starburst, which is fine if you're shooting 7 to 10 yards, which is where most concealed carry defensive situations happen. But a green dot for me pretty much eliminates that. So that is something to note as well. And this guy advertises 28,000 hours of battery life, which is pretty cool as well. This guy, however, different. So this is the Defender CCW enclosed from Vortex. It has a multi-reticle sight in it, so you have a dot, you have a bullseye ring, or you have both. So it gives you 3 different options there for what you want to have. And the dot is a little bit smaller on this. The actual dot is 3 MOA, where this is 3.5 MOA. And this is also the solar version, so there is a battery in it. Both of these, you can change the batteries on the side without having to take the optic off the gun, which would lose your zero, so that's really cool. You can change the batteries out. But this guy offers 150,000 hours of battery life is the advertised life of the battery for this. So kind of a set it and forget it. I don't know that I would trust that. Batteries are inexpensive. I'd probably still swap it out yearly, but that is something that both of these guys offer, is very, very good battery life for what you're going to get. And then lastly, moving on to another layer of EDC, which is going to be packs. This is a huge world, lots of options from lots of companies. This is merely one example that I already have, which is the Vertex Commuter 2.0. It's a great bag, but essentially it allows you to level up. So if you have to go into the city for work, something like that, you can typically carry something like an AR pistol. A lot of them can support something up to like a 10.5-inch barrel if you put a folder on the back of it. But lots of good options here. Some that I would recommend you check out, and I'll put links down below as well, would be, I believe it's called the Fade Adapt. There's the Transport 21 from Everly stock. That's great. And I believe also the Gamut, the new Gamut from Vertex is doing really well as well. And one thing that we did skip, and I'm going to circle all the way back to, is pepper spray. So Palm Industries here, 3 options. 2 of them are EDC, 1 is for home defense, obviously. So the home defense version here, this is more almost like bear spray, but it's not fog, it is still a jet. So that is something to note, but great for your home, first line of defense, things like that. Or if you live in a place where you can't have a firearm, or you have a history where you can't have a firearm, not a bad option. Then you have the Mark III here, the MK3 from Palm. So this is what I actually carry inside of here. In fact, I have a little holster right here that goes into. So this is what I'm going to carry into the city. This is going to give you a longer range, longer time, obviously more volume, so you can spray longer. So you can reach out farther, you can spray more if you need to. So that is the Mark III. And then the Palm Original here, little guy that you can carry with you on your pocket, has a pocket clip right there. Conceals really easy. Both of these have really good safeties. I actually tried just to mash down on them and see if I can get them to break. They would not do that, so they both performed exactly as I would expect. I have not sprayed myself in the face with those, and nor am I going to. But great options across the board here. Good, better, and best, depending on what you're looking for. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you use the links down below to purchase any of this gear, it doesn't cost you anything. In fact, you'll probably save some money because we go out and hunt for the best deals for you. And additionally, if you shop at Everly Stock, you can use code QDeals and save even more there. So guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.